Imagine a name, not just any name, but the very identity of a hero, a king, a symbol of power and tradition. It's a name that resonates with strength, stealth, and a regal presence. Now, imagine that name, for a brief, bewildering moment, changing. Not because the hero decided on a new mantle, but because the world outside the comic book panels had become too complicated, too politically charged for a simple, powerful word to remain unquestioned. This is the story of T'Challa, the Black Panther, and a fascinating, if short-lived, detour in his storied history. It takes us back to the early 1970s, a time of immense social upheaval and transformation in America. The civil rights movement had opened doors, but also brought forth new voices, new movements, and new tensions. And in this vibrant, often turbulent landscape, even the fantastical world of Marvel Comics found itself directly intersecting with real-world politics. The challenge arose from the undeniable presence of the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense. Founded in 1966, this political organization had, by the early 70s, become incredibly visible. They advocated for Black liberation, fought against police brutality, and established community programs. But their public image was complex, often controversial, and frequently demonized by mainstream media and government forces. They wore dark clothing, carried firearms, and their very name, Black Panther, became synonymous with a potent, sometimes intimidating force in American society. Now, picture Marvel Comics character, the Black Panther, who debuted in 1966, the very same year the party was founded. T'Challa was the king of the technologically advanced African nation of Wakanda, a sovereign ruler, a genius, and a formidable warrior. His name derived from an ancient Wakandan tradition, a sacred title passed down through generations, symbolic of the panther god of his people. He was never conceived as a political figure in the American sense, nor was he affiliated with any real-world group. But to many readers, especially those less familiar with the character's origins or the nuances of comic book lore, the overlap in names was confusing, even alarming. Was Marvel endorsing the Black Panther Party? Was the character now a direct allegory for the group? The creators at Marvel found themselves in a difficult position. They wanted to maintain the character's integrity and his distinct fictional identity, while also navigating a highly sensitive real-world political climate. And so, a decision was made. A seemingly simple, yet profoundly telling solution was proposed: a name change. Not a complete overhaul, but a subtle shift. For a brief period, both in the comics and in Marvel's promotional materials, the Black Panther was referred to as the Black Leopard. The in-universe explanation for this change appeared in Fantastic Four number 119, published in 1972. T'Challa himself addressed the elephant in the room. He explained, with a measured dignity befitting a king, that he was not a member of your Black Panther Party. And then he added a scientific clarification, a way to logically justify the new name. In fact, a panther is technically a leopard. It was an attempt to be both politically neutral and scientifically accurate, all while trying to maintain the character's core identity. It's a moment that, when we look back, feels both earnest and a little bit awkward. Here was a fictional hero, a king from a hidden African nation, being forced to explain his own name change due to the complex racial and political landscape of a different continent. It underscores the immense pressure on creators during that era, particularly when portraying Black characters, to avoid being misunderstood or interpreted as having a specific political agenda. They were trying to tell stories, but the real world kept intruding, demanding clarification. Yet, as often happens with such pragmatic solutions, it didn't quite stick. The name Black Leopard never truly resonated. The character was, and had always been, the Black Panther. The original name was too iconic, too deeply woven into the fabric of Wakanda's lore and T'Challa's personal journey. It was a name tied to a spiritual lineage, not a political movement. Within a relatively short period, the name reverted. T'Challa was once again, unequivocally, the Black Panther. The Black Leopard era is a fascinating, almost forgotten piece of comic book trivia, but it's more than just a footnote. It's a powerful reflection of a specific moment in time when the vibrant, often turbulent currents of the civil rights movement and the rise of Black political power directly impacted the imaginative worlds of pop culture. It reminds us that even our most fantastic stories are not created in a vacuum. They are shaped, sometimes subtly, sometimes overtly, by the real-world contexts in which they are born. It's a testament to the ongoing dialogue between fiction and reality, and how art often grapples with the pressing questions of its time. Ultimately, the Black Panther's brief tenure as the Black Leopard speaks volumes about the power of names, the challenge of representation, and the enduring effort to define identity in a complex world. What do you think of this moment in comic book history? Were you aware of the Black Leopard period? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's continue this conversation. We'd love to hear your perspective.